Hello students, this is Veenu with chemistry. Let's study laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combination were given by Antony Lavoisier, Proust and their co-workers. Proust was also co-worker of Lavoisier. So Lavoisier, Proust and their co-worker gave laws of chemical combination. We'll be studying here law of conservation of mass, law of constant proportion, law of reciprocal proportion, law of multiple proportion, Avogadro gas law. We'll be studying these many laws here. So I'm starting law of conservation of mass given by Lavoisier. According to this law, mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. It is stated mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. What is mass? Matter contained by a substance, by a thing, that is known as mass. So how much matter a substance, a thing contains, that is matter, that is mass. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. That means total mass before a chemical operation and total mass after a chemical operation remain same. It doesn't changes. So we'll find equal quantity of matter exists before and after the chemical operation. That is known. This law is known as conservation of mass. That means mass remains conserved. So how we will define this law? Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Or we can also define the total mass before a chemical operation is equals to total mass after a chemical operation. Or total mass remain conserved. Or we can say mass of reactant, total mass of reactants is equals to total mass of products. So we'll see this law was tested by Landlot. Landlot was a scientist who has tested this law experimentally. What did he do? He took a S-shaped tube. A S-shaped tube was taken by him. S-shaped tube was taken by Landlot. In this S-shaped tube, on one side he filled AgNO3, silver nitrate solution. On one side he filled AgNO3, that is silver nitrate solution. On another side he filled sodium chloride. The two different aqueous solutions were filled. In one side of S-shaped tube silver nitrate, on another side sodium chloride was filled. And then he sealed this S-shaped tube. Now what we have seen, he has taken weight of this S-shaped tube. Whatever weight was there before mixing the two solutions, let the weight is mass is m. Now after he carried out chemical reaction between the two substances by disturbing this S-shaped tube. He shaken this S-shaped tube so that two solutions should mix up. When the two solutions mix up, there occurs a reaction, and after the reaction again he took the weight of this S-shaped tube. He found that after chemical operation the mass remains same m, weight remains same m. Whatever weight is there, what is the difference between mass and weight? Mass is the matter contained by a substance. Weight is what? Mass into acceleration due to gravity. So it is weight actually is the force due to gravity. So we'll find that if weight is same, that means mass is also same, because gravity is acceleration due to gravity is what? Constant at a particular place. So we'll find that before mixing the two solutions, whatever the mass of the or weight of the this tube was there, same remains after mixing the two solutions. We'll find there occurs the chemical reaction AgNO3 plus NaCl. Both substances react and it will give you AgCl and NaNO3. So total mass of AgNO3 plus mass of AgNO3 plus mass of NaCl is equals to mass of AgCl plus mass of NaNO3. This we had seen. So he has given that mass remain constant. That means the law is correct. Like mass of AgNO3, that is reactant, one of the reactant, plus mass of NaCl, another reactant, give rise to mass of is equals to mass of AgCl plus mass of NaNO3. Let reactant is represent. So we will find total mass of reactant. I am representing reactant as R, equals to total mass of product. Total mass of products. So we'll find that mass remains same before a chemical reaction and after a chemical reaction. That means mass remains conserved. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Total mass of reactant is equals to total mass of product. So we'll find that this reactant, this is applicable when all of the reactant get converted to the products. So let us see one more experiment which we had studied in class 10th also. For experimental verification of this law, take a conical flask. You know this is a conical flask. Take a conical flask and take a small test tube. In a small test tube, fill up BaCl2 solution. And in conical flask, fill up sodium sulfate solution. Now what we have to do? We have to carry out the experiment with these two solutions. We will take this tube and hold it with the string, fix a string in it, and we will place this test tube inside the conical flask. So this test tube is placed inside the conical flask with the help of a string or thread containing BaCl2 solution. Now we will fix a cork here, a rubber cork here, so that if any gaseous substance is formed, it should not leave the system. Now we will weight this apparatus on a weighing balance. We'll find that suppose the mass is m without disturbing it. Now after disturbing, let us shake this apparatus, shake this conical flask so that the content BaCl2 inside the small test tube get mixed with sodium sulfate, and we find that the reaction takes place. Now after reaction, we will find white precipitate is formed. We will find in earlier experiment also white PPT of AgCl will form. Here also white PPT of barium sulfate will be formed. So formation of precipitate shows that reaction has occurred. So after the reaction, we will weigh it again. We find let its weight is again mass after m. Before and after the chemical process, the weight remains same. That means mass remains same. So what reaction here took place? We'll see that Na2SO4 plus BaCl2 give rise to twice NaCl plus BaSO4. White PPT of barium sulfate is formed. So this shows that reaction has occurred. We will find that total mass of sodium sulfate and barium chloride is equals to total mass of sodium chloride and barium sulfate. That means total mass of reactant is equals to total mass of product, because whole of the reactant is converted to the product. So when reaction occurs, we will find that after the reaction and before the reaction, mass does not change. It remains conserved. This law is known as law of conservation of mass. Hope you understand that mass remains conserved means mass does not change. It can neither be created nor be destroyed. Thank you. We'll be studying law of definite